Am I the a-hole for being upset that my bridesmaid didn't tell me she's pregnant? My wedding is in early September, and I have 4 bridesmaids and 1 maid of honor. One of my bridesmaids just announced she's 2 months pregnant. I was shocked, not just about the news, but also that she hadn't told me sooner. I asked her why she waited weeks to tell me when she knew the wedding was coming up. She explained that she wasn't ready to share it with anyone yet, not even her family. In fact, she told me I was one of the first people to know. I told her I should have been informed earlier because her pregnancy could affect the wedding plans, and I needed time to prepare. She disagreed, saying it was a personal decision, and she shared it when she felt ready. I vented to my family and bridal party. My maid of honor and family supported me, saying she should have let me know earlier. However, the other bridesmaids sided with her, saying I was wrong to expect an announcement just because of my wedding. Am I the a-hole? Okay, this is a tricky one. It's definitely natural to panic when you're planning something as important as a wedding and you get unexpected news. However, pregnancy is deeply personal, and your bridesmaid was well within her rights to wait until she felt ready to share. It's very common not to announce a pregnancy until the 3rd or 4th month to make sure everything is going well before making any announcements. Some people may not even know about their pregnancy until later on. A bit of grace here could go a long way in preserving your friendship. And on a side note, you really cannot expect people to stop their lives just because you are getting married. So, in my opinion, yes, you are the a-hole, but I'd love to hear what you guys think about this one. Am I the a-hole for prioritizing my father's family over my bitter mother and wedding plans? My fiancé and I are getting married in April 2024, and we are literally counting down the days in excitement. Some important background information. My parents have been divorced for about 4 or 5 years now. My mom is very bitter about it and has been ever since. And along with her bitterness about the divorce, she's made it clear that she doesn't see the value in my fiancé. She's even gone so far as to openly state that she thinks I'm making a mistake by marrying him. Since my fiancé moved in with me 2 years ago, we were long distance for 5 years. My mom has never made an effort to get to know him. Every time we've been around her, she treats him like a stranger I'm dragging along with me. Meanwhile, my dad and his wife, who have been married for almost 2 years now, have been so welcoming and kind to him. They truly consider him part of the family. For our wedding, we knew we'd likely be paying for everything ourselves, and we were happy to do so. But I did ask my mom if she wanted to help, just in case. I told her there was absolutely no obligation. I just thought maybe she'd want to be involved. I was sorely mistaken. Beyond that, my mom is really angry that I asked her to share the spotlight, as she put it, with my stepmom for the mother of the bride walk. My stepmom isn't my real mom, biologically speaking, but she's been much more present in my life over the past 6 years than my biological mom ever has. In addition to the mother of the bride walk issue, I made sure my half-sister on my dad's side was included in my wedding because, well, she's my sister and she's important to me. My fiancé asked my stepbrother, my stepmom's son, to be a groomsman since they're around the same age, and it made sense for them to walk together. But my mom isn't happy that I didn't include my half-sister on my mom's side. The reason is that she has a history of starting fights, causing scenes, and even being charged with crimes. She's just generally unkind, and I didn't want to have her as a bridesmaid. My mom has jokingly threatened not to come to the wedding to show me how it feels to have my feelings hurt so I can understand what I'm doing to her. She's been blatantly disrespectful lately, and aside from the issue with the mother of the bride walk, she wanted nothing to do with our wedding plans. Now, she's accusing me of asking her to attend out of pity, not because I want her there. The truth is, this is my day, and I want to have a relaxed, stress-free wedding. I think I'm allowed to be a little selfish in this case, especially to avoid any drama or problems my mom might bring with her. We don't find her lack of presence to be a loss, and honestly, if this ends our mother-daughter relationship, I'm not upset about it. So I guess I just want to know, am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole at all! It sounds like you've tried to include your mom and be considerate, but her bitterness and disrespect are totally out of line. You're allowed to have a stress-free wedding and prioritize the people who've supported you, like your stepmom. It's unfortunate your mom can't see that, but your happiness is what's most important. Stay firm in your decision. This is about your day, and you deserve it to be joyful and drama-free. The community seems to agree. This person is not the a-hole. Am I the a-hole or the bridezilla for not attending my friend's wedding? My fiancé and I have been together since I was 18 and he was 19, and we just got engaged in spring 2023 after bringing a little girl into the world. Immediately, I knew where I wanted to have our wedding. A gorgeous local greenhouse where people come from all over. It's really a butterfly conservatory. The venue is very special to me as I used to work there, my daughter's baby shower was there, and my late sister-in-law has a plaque hanging in her honor in the greenhouse. So, for my fiancé and I, it's either we get married at this venue or elope. No in between. So we booked our wedding for the winter solstice. Down payment down in August. It could be more unique and perfect. Hand-fasting ceremony on the solstice in a butterfly greenhouse. I told basically everyone about it. Excluding a close mom friend of mine, we'll call her Bride 2. I've gotten together with Bride 2 several times. We connected on a deeper level as we both struggled as first-time moms with PPD, so as you can imagine, we've become pretty close. When we weren't talking about babies, we were talking about my wedding plans. She never had too much to say about it. Just yesterday, I was scrolling Facebook and saw Bride 2 booked her wedding at the same venue as me for a sooner date, without any mention of having interest in this place at all. People don't typically get married there. It's niche. That's part of the appeal. I can't confirm, but I'm sure she didn't even know it was a thing until I told her about my wedding plans. Although she claims she's had it planned for a year and couldn't book sooner because her daughter ruined that for her. I hate to expose a struggling mom, but I hate the way she talks about her daughter with such resentment. Anyway, she told me she wanted me to attend her wedding and it would be completely different than mine. But my real issue was, why didn't she talk with me about it? Seems like she knew better, and that's why she didn't say anything. But after thinking on it all day, I declined her invite. I've never been to a wedding at this venue, and I have this illusion that the venue is just for us. Going to Bride 2's wedding would pop that bubble for me. In other words, I want my wedding to be kind of a surprise experience, so I won't be going to hers. Upon me bringing this up, she without hesitation said she wanted to cut ties with me, then proceeded to love bomb and blocked me in just a few short sentences. I got whiplash. I could psychoanalyze why she took away my ability to respond to such a heartbreaking and hasty response all day. Mom groups are going to be so awkward. So, am I the a-hole in this scenario? I feel like she couldn't relate to my issue, as the venue isn't as special to her. It was just a cheaper option. My goal is always to better myself, so lay it on me if I'm the a-hole. So, after receiving many responses labeling her as the a-hole, the bride posted the following update. I think everyone is saying I'm the a-hole for my poor word choice. I definitely expect and want my friends to have beautiful weddings at this venue. Although my wedding has been booked here for 6 months now, my friends know how much the venue means to me. And honestly, having never attended a wedding here makes it feel more intimate. That's a real valid feeling for me to have. I'm not trying to make her move her location at all. I just mean to call out how she got the idea from me, then booked it for only 3 months out and accused me of taking the idea from her. If you read this and think I don't want anyone getting married here but me, reread it. I use the word illusion for a reason, recognizing that that's not a real thing, but it's a factor that makes the day feel more unique. I will have to agree with the community on this. You are the a-hole. The venue is public, not your private space. Just because you booked it first doesn't mean others can't use it too. Weddings aren't competitions, and her choosing the same venue doesn't take away from your day at all. Instead of holding on to this idea of exclusivity, you could have just been happy for her and celebrated together. Your wedding will still be special, and trying to control the situation over something like this is only going to hurt your friendship more in the long run. Unfortunately, this is a very common attitude when it comes to weddings. What do you guys think about it? Am I the a-hole, or is she a bridezilla? My friend is getting married and gave herself just 6 months from the engagement to the wedding day. She sent out bridesmaid invites a month after getting engaged, so we only had 5 months to prepare. Here's where I'm frustrated. Her maid of honor texted us, demanding $250 each for her bridal shower, which half of us, myself included, can't attend because we live out of state. My understanding was that the bridesmaids attending the shower should cover the cost. Now for the part that really got to me. I don't know anyone at this wedding except for the bride. She threw a big fit when she found out my plus one was someone I had just started dating. She said she only wanted a female friend or a long-term partner for a plus one. She knows I'm single. The kicker? I didn't even get the plus one offer until 2 months after the first round of invitations went out, and they had some rejections. So she clearly didn't care enough to invite this family member before. I'm spending over $2,000 on my dress, shoes, hair, makeup. The MUA is required. Her out-of-country bachelorette trip, flights, lodging, her gift, etc. And I'm being told I can't bring a plus one of my choice to this wedding where I know no one, all because she doesn't want to waste money feeding some guy I just met. Why does it even matter? Am I trippin'? Am I the a-hole? I know people will ask why I'm a bridesmaid when I don't know anyone else at the wedding. Her family and friends are all in her hometown in Dallas. We got close when we were both living in another state. Okay, we also have an update from OP. This is my first time being a bridesmaid, so I didn't know a lot about wedding etiquette. After reading through your comments and seeing other Bridezilla threads, I've learned it's actually bad etiquette for her to make us pay for the rehearsal dinner, $50. The bridal shower I couldn't attend, as I suspected, and professional hair and makeup, $600 each, with required extensions. She also lied about how much we were paying for the VRBO. Initially, she said she would cover it, but after looking up the rates, it turns out we're paying almost the same amount as if we were splitting it evenly. So, I'm dropping out. Thanks for all your advice. Clarifications. I didn't demand a plus one. It was offered to me. And the 5-month time frame only became an issue when our initial agreed-upon budget almost doubled. I don't think you're the a-hole here. I'll be honest, I wasn't fully clear on the plus one situation at first, but as a general rule, no one is really entitled to a plus one unless the couple specifically offers one. I totally get how inconvenient it must be for someone coming from out of state, but at the end of the day, weddings are expensive, and it makes sense that the bride wouldn't want to pay for someone she doesn't know. That said, you should absolutely feel free to drop out if you're uncomfortable with the situation. Now, regarding the financial aspect, I am honestly shocked when bridesmaids are asked to spend thousands of dollars. That is not okay. A wedding is a special day, but it shouldn't come with a huge financial burden for the people celebrating it. Once again, the community and I agree. You are not the a-hole. Am I the a-hole for being a bridezilla and trying to be the main character? I know the title sounds bad, but I'm directly quoting what has been said to me because I wasn't sure how else to title it. There are 2 key things I need judgment on, so this may be a bit long. My fiancé and I have been together for 6 years, engaged for 2, and we are getting married next month. It will be a very small gathering, only about 20 guests, 33 including our wedding party, officiant, and us. And we're doing it in the backyard of my best friend's house. I went into this with a very casual mindset, not looking for anything ostentatious. My fiancé and I put together our wedding outfits on Amazon. We told our wedding party the general color scheme, and they're welcome to wear whatever they want as long as it's roughly in that color range. It doesn't have to be exact. Everyone has known the date for at least 3 months, and all we really asked is for them to show up and have fun with us. My amazing mother-in-law and I are handling everything else, with the exception of the bachelor and bachelorette parties, which our wedding parties agreed to plan. The first point is the bachelor-bachelorette parties themselves. We're less than 2 weeks away from the wedding. My fiancé's side has been super communicative and already has the party planned. My side wanted more of a surprise aspect, so I made a separate group chat for them without me and told them to ask me any questions in our main chat. I found out from my best friend, who is also our officiant but part of my wedding party, that the chat has been dead since I created it. There's been no planning, not even any small talk. I reached out to my maid of honor, since she's the main planner, and got left on red for a week. When I sent a follow-up message, she texted back saying she's been busy, but that she'll get it figured out. This was a week ago. My best friend and officiant confirmed that nothing has changed in terms of party planning. I've asked my maid of honor if it's too much, suggesting I could reassign the task or even plan it myself, but she insists she can handle it and wants to do it. At this point, she told me I was veering into bridezilla territory because I was demanding immediate results, which was not at all what I was trying to convey. My wedding party is split on whether they agree with her or not. The second issue is with my brother. He's my only biological family left, and we've been very close my whole life. He was the first to receive an invite, and was even supposed to walk me down the aisle. For context, my brother went through a very hard breakup about 3 years ago. His fiancée left him for another man, whom she's now married to and has a child with. My brother took this extremely hard and is fully convinced that he'll never find love again. Despite my insistence that he's still young, he's always been the kind of person who feels like he needs to be in a relationship to be happy. He's been very excited for me and my fiancé and has always said he would definitely be there. About a month before the big day, I started getting messages from my brother. He said he didn't have enough money to get to the wedding and back. It's a 2-hour drive total. No worries. I offered to cover his gas money. A few days later, he told me the insurance on his car had lapsed and he couldn't afford to renew it, so now he doesn't have a car. No problem. I arranged for him to get a ride with some mutual friends who were attending the wedding. A couple of days after that, he started a new job and didn't want to ask for a day off or call out. At this point, I asked if something else was going on because he's never hesitated to take a day off when needed, and now this was the third excuse, for lack of a better word, in a week. He admitted that he was having a hard time with the wedding because it reminded him of everything he lost. He said he was supposed to have that kind of thing in his life, and now he never will. He mentioned that me asking him to be there felt unfair, considering everything he's been through. This hurt a lot. I told him as much, firmly stating that I wasn't mad, but I was hurt. He's had 3 years to heal from his breakup, and while healing isn't linear, surely he could set that pain aside for a few hours to celebrate his little sister's wedding. Over the past few years, I've housed him when he was homeless, been his sibling therapist through his relationship insecurities, and dropped everything whenever I got a 911 from him. I'm happy to do these things because I love him, and while I don't expect anything in return, I don't think it's unfair to say it feels like a kick in the teeth after everything I've done to support him. His reply? The world doesn't revolve around me and my stupid party, and to stop trying to be the main character because everyone else has their own struggles. I have severe PTSD from a domestic violence relationship, so I understand how painful love gone wrong can be. I reiterated that I'm not expecting him to be over it, just asking that he put it aside for a moment to support me, as I've supported him in the past. He's left me on red for nearly 2 weeks now and won't reply. I've tried really hard not to be anything close to a bridezilla, especially with it being such a casual wedding reception. My fiancé doesn't think I am, but with multiple people I love and trust saying otherwise, I'm starting to question it. So I turn to you. Am I the a-hole or bridezilla? Are these unreasonable expectations? I don't think you're being a bridezilla at all. From what you've shared, you're asking for your brother to be there on a very important day for you. Not to overshadow his feelings, but to have him support you, just like you've supported him through difficult times. It's not unreasonable to want your sibling at your wedding, and it doesn't sound like you're demanding anything unreasonable from him. I totally get that healing from heartbreak takes time, but you're not asking him to completely ignore his feelings. You're asking him to show up for a few hours and celebrate with you, which is a pretty small ask considering everything you've done for him. As for your bridal party and the planning situation, you're not demanding anything. You're just looking for things to get organized. It's okay to set boundaries and ask for clear communication. So, no, you're not being a bridezilla, and you're definitely not the a-hole here. This is all for today. Thank you for joining me for these Am I the A-hole stories. If you like this video, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.